welcome to a brand new episode of In Other Words with Danielle and Zara.
So this is a podcast where we're going to be talking about a wide array of different subjects, from modesty to mental health. So in other words, we're going to be talking about all the things.
So just a huge shout out to YBO, Your Brain On. They are the band that did our intro song.
Woohoo! And also, if you haven't noticed, we have a new cover art, and that was done by Andrea Rousseau, or otherwise known as Autistic Beans, on Instagram. And we're really, really happy with it. She did such an incredible job. So definitely check her work out, and we would definitely recommend her.
Yes, we love our new cover
Yes,
art.
it's so cute.
It is.
Cool. So today we're going to be starting with a 3-part series, all about
trilogy.
If you must, yes. So the first episode, the one that we're going to be doing today, is about being single. The next one will be about being in a relationship, and the next one will be about being married. So we have a very exciting guest today. Some of you might know her. She is my co-host, Zara Scott.
Does me.
And she's very good at being single.
I am so
Mastered
good.
it.
I should get paid.
You should. Why not? So, Zara, just tell us a little bit about your journey of dating to being single and why you're still single now. Like, what the heck?
I know. I'm joking. So, I was single since I was a baby.
What?
I know.
That's crazy.
And then I got into my first relationship when I was 17, and we dated for 1.5 years. It was quite a serious, almost too serious relationship.
Yeah.
With two very immature people, so that generally doesn't work well.
Yay, high school.
Yay. So we broke up, and I've been single for the last 3 years. And yeah, it's been a good learning process.
Nice.
I am single and thriving.
Yes.
So yeah.
Nice. So, what do you think are some of the misconceptions about being single?
Ooh, okay. I feel like they are a lot.
Yes.
The first one is, I think that, and this is where I feel like there's a double standard. So firstly, if a guy finally decides like, oh, I'm ready for like a serious relationship, I'm ready for commitment, then he's deemed like mature, and it's like, wow, like, yay.
Oh, good
and
for
we just,
him.
like, admire him.
Yeah.
And it's great. But if a girl is single and she's like, you know what, I want to be in a relationship, then she's often perceived as desperate, which I think is like
silly.
It is silly because
You said silly now.
silly.
Silly.
It's silly because we are human, and like it's in our like makeup, like we desire
Human
for
interaction.
the most part. Yes, especially like to have a companion.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's okay if you're single and you want to be in a relationship. That's completely okay.
Yeah. I think there's definitely like a sort of narrative out there about being single and just being so happy and just like thriving, and like you should.
Yes.
But it's okay to want to be in a relationship as well.
It's almost like you have to put on this like facade of, I am so happy that I am single.
Yeah.
And you know what, like, it's okay if you are single but you want to be with someone.
Yeah, it's normal.
Exactly. And then another thing is, it is one of the most common expressions and possible excuses for not being in a relationship, and that is, I don't have time.
Yeah.
And I think, yes, life is busy.
Very busy.
But in the words of Mrs. Courtney Bowers, we do love her. If you don't have time now, like, you are never going to have time.
Exactly.
The reality is that life, especially in today's day, is busy. It is fast paced.
And it only gets busier.
Exactly. So, I mean, you know, I'm a full-time student. I've got a job. I have a lot going on. And I am busy. Yeah. But you prioritize the things that are important to you. If something is important, you will make the time. And so there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I am busy and I do not desire to take time and prioritize being in a relationship, having someone. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't ever break up with someone or say like, I just don't have time and it's not working out, because I think I can be a cop-out. And especially like if you are afraid or you're vulnerable and you don't want to be in a relationship, that is okay. You don't have to cover it with a I don't have time, because we don't have time, but we all have time.
Exactly. Everyone has the same amount of hours in a day. Scary.
Exactly. I wish there were more, but such is life.
It is what it is.
Exactly. And then, okay, so, and Danielle will tell you that I can come across flirtatious.
Yes.
It is very often not my intent, and I have definitely grown and become better at it.
Yeah.
I'm just like a generally friendly person. Like, I treat guys and girls very nicely.
Yeah.
And like often, like people make fun of me because I call my waiter or my waitress by their name.
Yes.
And that's not me like flirting or like doing anything. It's because I just want to be nice and like friendly. Acknowledge them.
Yeah.
But it can come across like, ooh, she's interested.
Yeah.
And just like a newsflash for guys, like if a girl dresses attractively
or is just friendly,
I promise it's not like everything we do does not revolve around getting the attention of the male species.
Exactly.
So yeah, I just think be careful. And especially with like WhatsApp. Yeah. And like with text. I think it can be so damaging because you can never really get your intent across. And so like I will always put like a heart or whatever at the end of like a sentence. But I've learned there's certain people where I just need to be wise and maybe like not put a heart. Yeah. Or like there's certain people that I'm a hugger, but I maybe won't hug because I know that they might perceive it
in a different way.
Exactly. So yeah, just being careful about.
And I mean WhatsApp especially, like,
oh my goodness,
with the use of emojis, people interpret emojis in such different ways.
Even though there are a million of them.
Exactly.
There's still like people see things differently.
Exactly. And
so we call it the chice face emoji. And
it's like a flirtatious kind of face.
Yes.
On WhatsApp.
Danielle was known in high school as like
chice face.
Yeah.
Because I can do it with my face.
Exactly. So Danielle, for the people on YouTube watching, do you just want to demonstrate? So it's like when your mouth is like half up or whatever. And like for the most part, I think most people see that as like a very flirty, like.
Yeah, especially when I do that, then all the boys are like,
oh, you know. But I realized my mom actually thinks it's like I feel sick. So when she's feeling like nauseous, she's like, oh, I don't feel well. And then she puts like the chice face. And it just like shows people like,
that's so funny,
perceive and see things so differently. Yeah. So my thing is be clear. Be as blunt and honest as possible. And like often in high school or in primary school, it's like,
oh, she likes me or he likes me or whatever.
And it's like, do they, don't they? Like, let's keep it a secret. Let's tell every single person we know except the actual person. Yes. And for me, I just think, don't mess with people's feelings. Especially when you're single, because if someone's in a relationship and they do something, chances are you're like, oh, it's probably just friendliness or whatever because they're dating someone. Yeah. But when you are single, just be so cautious of how you treat people. Yeah. And just be honest. And there's a friend of mine, and I think for a long time we were kind of unsure, like, is there something more, is there not? Yeah. But we were both like so open and honest about it. So every couple of weeks we'd actually have a conversation and say, okay, like, where are we at? And I found it so helpful because it helped maintain our friendship when we came to the realization that, okay, there's nothing there. Yeah. So we're great friends, and I just advocate in all areas of life to just be honest. And maybe I'm a bit too blunt sometimes, but
that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely think as we're getting older, especially, people appreciate honesty and just being straightforward so much, because like we don't have time to mess around really. I mean, maybe we're doing like that's something that you want to do, but nobody likes to be led on and then like they like, actually, no, I'm not into this anymore. I think it's good, like as sucky as it might be, like as soon as you realize, actually, I'm not feeling this, you let that person know.
100%. So 100%. So yeah, just don't flirting is fun.
Yeah.
But don't do it unnecessarily.
Yeah, don't mess around with people's feelings.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't want that to be done to you, so don't do it.
Exactly. But I think those are like my misconceptions about dating.
Cool. Thank you. So, what do you think are the disadvantages of being single?
Well, first of all, like, it can get lonely from time to time. And not in a like, woe is me, let me cry, I'm so alone. But when you are at like social events and everyone around you is like...
got a person.
Exactly. You can feel left out, or people seem to think that like there's certain things you won't understand, or, you know, like people go on couples getaways.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, she's single, like, don't want to hurt her feelings. And so often, like, there's that sense of like feeling left out, feeling a little bit lonely.
Yeah.
I also think that it's nice to just have that companion, to know that there's someone that has your back. And so to not have that, like, it's normal to desire that. So, and I think a lot of what you will say next week, because you're going to be talking to us about relationships, a lot of what you say is the benefits would be a disadvantage on the contrary. So another disadvantage is gifts. So it sounds so silly, but like when you are buying a person a gift on one salary, you can't get them something wonderful.
Exactly.
But when you have a person and you go like Harvey's on a gift, you can get them something wonderful.
Exactly. There's a big difference between a 150 Rand gift to a 300 Rand gift.
Exactly.
Look at that.
So like my go-to whenever we get invited to like a party, I'm like, Danielle, is Devin invited? And if he's not, then
we go halvesies.
Exactly. So
it's very convenient.
Exactly. So that's like a disadvantage of being single. Like I want someone to split.
Just don't have so many friends, and then you won't have to go to any parties. Easy.
Being single is about having friends, Danielle.
Whatever.
Yes, I think that's all.
Yeah. So do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you as a single person to like go out and mingle or to get a boyfriend?
So yes and no.
Good answer.
Thank you. So I think that if you surround yourself with people who are single or are not single but also understand like it's okay to be single, then there's not that much pressure. But I think once you get older, let's just say like I'm hitting 30 and I'm single and all my friends are married and having children, I think people can, and it's not like from a bad place, but it's like, oh, come on, like,
when you're gonna meet someone.
Yes, and can I set you up with like the guy at work or whatever. So then it can be a lot of pressure. Also, like, people are well-meaning, like people from the church or like old people, their family get-togethers, they're like, oh, when are you gonna like find someone? Luckily I'm not at that stage, but I think it can be horrible.
I'd imagine if my family had to be asking me the whole time like, when are you gonna get a boyfriend, when are you gonna get married, I'd be like, bro, chill.
So
just relax.
my advice is always like, take things at your own pace and block out the noise. And it's only pressure if you let it be pressure and you put 100%. Yourself under that pressure. Even girls in high school, they're like, oh, it's that time we can finally date, like I need to have a boyfriend.
You don't.
Girlfriend, please stay away. You'll get your heart broken. I did, so just don't.
And I mean, we'll talk about this like a bit later, I think, when you go into the advantages, but like really just like use your time wisely, get to know yourself, do the things. But another thing I wanted to ask you is your opinion on online dating.
Okay, so for a long time I was like quite a skeptic, I think.
So am I.
It's just like
you hear those horror stories.
Exactly. I've heard so many stories where it's like this online dating thing was actually a human trafficking thing. Or you get catfished. I love Neve.
Catfish.
So it's like someone is talking to me and they say they're 23 but actually they are 50 and they probably aren't male. So the thing is, with online dating, you don't know, like people could be lying. Also, people present themselves differently over text versus in person.
They want to be attractive to people.
Exactly. So you can make up things, you can be a great conversationalist. Is that a word?
Sure.
Here's now.
We'll say it is. If it is, then you're a genius.
Thank you. So they can converse well.
Yes.
Like via text, but not in person.
Yeah.
So I think that is like the harm. On the other hand, I feel like with technology and social media and everything expanding as much as it is, it kind of seems to be a little bit more transparent.
Yes.
There are more dating apps, more people are going and doing the online dating thing, and it seems to work for them.
Exactly.
So it can be a good thing. Also, you lay what you want and who you are on the table.
Yeah.
And it, like, you skip a whole, like, scanning through people and, like, having to meet people, and it's like, oh, our values don't line up. So, for example, if I decide I want to date online, I'm going to say, I love Jesus.
Yeah.
This is who I am. And if some guy is not Christian or he's looking for a hookup, he's going to swipe left.
She's not for me.
Yeah. So.
And you can do the same to someone else.
Exactly.
So.
To everyone. No, I'm joking.
No.
I'm picky, but not ridiculously so.
Okay.
But yeah, so it can be a good thing, and if you feel like, you know what, this is the route you need to go, or you don't, I mean, where do you meet people?
Yeah.
Like,
especially in a pandemic.
Like, where do you meet the people?
Where do you go?
Like, so
go to another church.
Some people go to churches to meet people.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I won't do that.
It's not the worst place.
True. But like, yeah, just don't go with that intention. Although whatever gets them in the door.
Exactly.
That's what I say.
Free cake. How about that?
I agree.
Okay, so we've spoken about the disadvantages and all of that. What are the advantages of being single?
You can be free.
Wow.
No, I think that's also, people are like, oh, to be single is to be free, but surely like a relationship shouldn't be like shackles.
I hate that. Like that. I feel like it's especially an old person thing when you get married and it's like, oh, you're never going to be free again. Like you're locked away now.
I hope I meet someone that lets me like feel free even though we're together.
Like, don't be with someone who doesn't let you do things.
No thanks.
Come on.
But yeah, that's scary. So, but on the other hand, being single and the freedom that comes with it can be nice. So for example, like going into full-time ministry, God can call me wherever.
Exactly.
And I don't have another person to consider. And I think that's the thing in life, like especially in the big decisions, there's someone you need to consult. And like, I always have this thing where it's like, if I had to start dating now and God calls me to another country and someone happily like follows along, like, will they resent me later? Yeah. Because, you know, and I mean, sure, the right person, it might line up, but it's just like you can make decisions and you don't have to consider
another
person.
Yeah.
I also think you have a lot more time.
Yeah.
Because a relationship takes work.
It does.
I feel.
You have to put the time to like spend time with them.
Yes.
And if you're not ready,
Devin will be sad if you don't spend time with him.
Yes.
And only spend time with me.
Yeah.
So I think that just in that regard, like, you do have time. You can focus on the things you're passionate about. We'll focus more than like a person in a relationship. So that's like a big plus.
Yes.
And then also a benefit, I think, is, and like, yes, this is not in every case. Like, I know people who've started dating young and have been together forever.
Yeah.
I.e. you. But I think that there are certain things that you can only learn when you are by yourself. Like, it's very easy. Like, in my past relationship, I think I lost a lot of myself. I was okay being someone's girlfriend. Yes. And I will never ever be okay with that again. Like, I'm my own person. Yes. So I think when you're single, you learn how to be alone well. Yeah. Because I think, like, even in a relationship, you need to know who you are. Definitely. And so being single, especially coming out of a relationship, like, I think I'm going to be the greatest girlfriend one day because I did everything wrong in my previous relationship in the last 3 years. I've realized and I've learned.
It's a learning curve.
Exactly.
You're leveling up.
So I think that it's an awesome time to just learn about yourself. Learn who you really are, what you want, what you don't want. Yeah. And also just, and not to sound like this is a therapy session or a lecture, but you learn and become the person that you want, that you're looking for. Yes. So it's like, I can be like, oh, I need someone who's this wonderful and ticks off all these boxes, but like, I'm a mess. Yeah. Like, that's not fair. I'm not going to attract someone.
Yeah, you can't expect someone to not want the same things that you want.
Exactly. So use the time not so that you can be
like the goal of
eligible.
Being single is not necessarily to get into a relationship.
Exactly.
But you can use the time wisely.
Exactly. And you want to become someone who is going to attract the person that you want to attract.
Exactly.
So it's an incredible time to learn about yourself and learn what you want and what you don't want.
Yeah.
So yeah. What other benefits of being single?
Well, I don't know, just adding did we need to stop? Okay. Just adding on to like what you were saying, I've always, like, this is what I've seen, what I've experienced, is that when people have used their single time not to like look for a relationship but just to chill, be themselves, that's when they've found the best relationships.
Yeah. You tend to find the right person when you're not looking.
Exactly.
And that's not to like sit at home and
I mean, like, go and make friends and go and have coffee with people if you drink coffee.
That's the greatest part about being single as well. Like, you make lots of friends.
Exactly.
Like, you tend to have that kind of time to build these relationships.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Danielle was lucky. She got me and she's in a relationship.
So lucky.
It doesn't happen for everyone because they're so distracted.
Oh, silly people.
So, yeah, you just have the time. And yeah, I think being single, it's really like you need to learn to like be alone.
Yes. No, I definitely agree. And I mean, even before I started dating, so when I was 15, I was at a point in my life where I was like, you know what, I don't need to have a boyfriend right now. I don't really want to have a boyfriend right now. And that's when I did get a boyfriend.
Yes.
So take my advice.
Can't always get what you want.
Just don't want one and you'll get it. Easy. No, I'm kidding.
So yeah, I think there are benefits to being single. I promise, for all the people in relationships that look down upon their friends and are like, oh, I want you to have what I have. Like, being single can be really fun. Like, I'm living my best life.
Yeah, you're doing the things.
Exactly.
Cool. So do you have any other pieces of advice, any tips for those who are single?
I think just learn to be comfortable and be content.
Yeah.
Like, as you said, I think if you're constantly looking and it's like, I need to find someone, then often you compromise.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't have unrealistic standards. Like I always say, you're never going to marry Jesus. So if you're looking for a perfect person, you're never going to find them.
Exactly.
But also, when you're so desperate to be with someone, I think that you can often like lower your standards or like say like, oh, I wanted a person who did this, but now like it's okay, like I need to be with someone, and like you're gonna end up unhappy.
Exactly.
So just enjoy the time, make all the friends, do all the fun things. I think that's like my biggest piece of advice as someone who's single. Like, to be honest, people who give advice to single people that have been in relationships forever, I'm like, you haven't been single in like a very long time.
Yeah.
So as a single person, just chill.
Exactly.
Yes.
Nice. I think that's it then. Or
I think also something that I wanted to mention is just like knowing when you're ready.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. So how would you know when you're ready?
I think, I don't know, did you know you were ready when you were ready?
Well, I took a while to decide, but I was very young.
Yes.
That's another story.
And you are an indecisive person sometimes.
Only sometimes.
Only sometimes.
I can't decide though if I am or if I'm not.
Wow. So I think, I don't know if you're ever really ready. I think you know when you're not ready.
Yeah.
Like if you just came out of a relationship yesterday, maybe not wise to jump into another one tomorrow.
Just relax, bro.
Exactly.
Just chill.
But at the same time, I think that I personally feel, especially, and this is not generally, it can be a female thing. Very often it's like, I'm looking for the right person and it has to be this amazing guy, and like, guys, it's like there's no good ones left out in the world. And it's like it becomes like a selfish thing.
Okay.
Like, I'm just looking for someone to treat me well and to love me, and yes, you obviously want to be loved and you want all of those things, but so much about love is about sacrifice. And like, for me, the greatest example of that is just Jesus dying for me because he loved me and I did nothing. So an example of when I was like, Zara, maybe you're ready, because for the longest time, like, I was like, I don't want to get my heart broken. I'm so busy. I don't want to deal with the relationship situation.
Yeah.
And then the one time, so my brother's 5, as some of you know, not everyone. Yes, I'm almost 22 and my brother is 5 years old.
Ooh.
And my mom went away and his dad, well, she went away for work and his dad was overseas and there was no one to look after him for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's not a parent, let me tell you, it's hard work. And if you are a parent, you know, especially like he was 3 or 4 at the time.
Children are difficult.
Yes. So getting him done, like taking care of another human being, like I did it. I was nervous and I was like, you love someone, you do the things.
Yeah.
And I realized, wow, like I have the capacity to love someone like that.
Yeah.
And so I think once you reach the point where it's like, I have so much love to give and I understand that it's like, as much as I'm getting in a relationship,
it's about giving as well.
Yes.
Definitely.
And I think if you're at a place where you're not ready to give, then maybe you aren't ready at all.
No, I agree.
But yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
This was a lot of talking for me. I'm looking forward to letting you and Devin do all the talking next week.
I'm looking forward to it too.
It's gonna be fun.
It'll be fun. But yeah, thank you for giving us all the advice and talking about your experience.
So wise.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And thanks to everyone who is listening for listening.
Yes. And also, if you are British, like you got a British accent,
yes,
and you have a Range Rover,
yes,
and you love Jesus, and you're a professional dancer, I'm available.
Hit her up. Slide into our DMs. How about that?
If you aren't those things, I'm
Keep
so
walking.
happy single. But that's all.
Anyway.
See you guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.